Met at Baltimore School of the Arts. It was the first day, and he came over to me and introduced himself. And in high school, Pac was a little funny.
She worked with the Hughes brothers. She really liked them. She had a good relationship with Tupac, and she just didn't want to get in the middle of it. And she thought, like, if she had done that movie, it would have been a little weird.
What's happening, baby?
In that bathroom, but, you know, could have happened, but you're in the bathroom with this man taking a bath. So, I don't know.
Larenz Tate just dropped a bomb that's got everybody spinning. In a wild new interview, he hinted that Jada Pinkett Smith and Tupac might have filmed something real unexpected while working on Menace II Society. And nope, it wasn't some regular movie scene either. The internet's already on fire with crazy theories about what really went down behind the scenes. And it's definitely not matching up with what Jada's been telling us for years.
Pretty sure that kind of fucked him up when he showed up at the set and he wanted to get down with him. Like, nigga, we finna go up here and fuck up some shit. It ain't finna be no talking, ain't finna be no, you know, explaining. Tupac, like, we finna pull straight up there because he probably knew they're not gonna do anything. So let's just go up in there and start some shit.
Word is, she's been flipping the story for her own reasons, calling Pac her soulmate, and even saying that kissing him felt disgusting. Like, why would she even say that? Now the big question is Larenz Tate really onto something huge? Let's break it down.
Men, we matched. The energy was there. I looked at Alan looked at me, we looked at each other and said, that's the girl. So the Tupac thing, that was, I don't think that was, maybe that was one of the things that she felt, or I know what me and Alan talked about and what we saw when we seen that energy. The same as when Larenz came in, like it was, we just knew the chemistry was.
So Larenz has been spilling serious tea about what happened during Menace II Society, and what he said is juicy. He recently sat down for an interview and opened up about how crazy close Jada and Tupac really were. Apparently, Jada was supposed to play Delilah in Dead Presidents, but she passed on it. And years later, when she and Larenz were co-stars on Girls Trip, she told him the real reason why. It turns out she turned down the part because it was directed by the Hughes brothers. FYI, Pac and the Hughes brothers, yeah, they were beefing hard. Pac was cast to play Sharif, but things got messy real quick. The directors fired him for being way too much to handle on set.
I was talking about that experience. I said, well, Jada, I talked to the Hughes brothers and you were supposed to be in the movie. And she says, I was. I said, why didn't you do the movie? That they kept saying they had the character Delilah, you know, who was the sister of Juanita, okay? You was gonna be this revolutionary thing. And she was like, I just couldn't do it because at the time I was really close with Tupac, and Tupac had this sort of beef at the time with the Hughes.
Alan Hughes even pulled Pac aside like, Tupac, why are you... And before he could even finish, it all went downhill. Pac wasn't the type to just walk away either. He pulled up to the set a few days later and threw hands for real. It got so wild that the Hughes brothers pressed assault and battery charges against him. And get this, Pac didn't even run from it. He admitted to it straight up and ended up serving 15 days in jail like it was nothing. After all that drama, according to Larenz Tate, Jada didn't want to cross Pac by working with the same directors who did him dirty. Larenz said she had a tight bond with Tupac and didn't want to get caught up in the mess. She felt that if she took the role, it would have been straight up shady. And honestly, it makes total sense. Tupac was the one who even got her foot in the door for Menace II Society. When the role of Ronnie, the single mum, first came up, Jada wasn't sure if she should even say yes. She was straight up confused. Jada almost walked away from Menace II Society. But that's when Pac came through and pushed her to take that leap of faith. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, she said, I was questioning whether I should do it or not, and Pac was like, look, just because I'm not doing it, you should still do it. I probably wouldn't have done it without his blessing.
It was like, Tupac, why are you acting like a bitch? You're acting like a bitch right now. You acting like a straight bitch. Let's step outside. This is what I hear.
They fired me, but did it in a roundabout punk snitch way. So I caught them on the streets and beat they behinds. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
like I was a to the youth, brother. And it ain't over. I still got more to jump because I read what you said about jump to the TV.
Looking back, Jada's real grateful her boy Pac gave her that push. After her debut, she started blowing up, landing major roles in Set It Off, Jason's Lyric, and more. But still, the fact that Jada threw away a huge opportunity like Dead Presidents just for Tupac, that's wild. And if you ask Larenz Tate, he thinks there was way more to it than just friendship. Larenz suspected that Pac wanted to work with Jada so he could get a little closer, and not just professionally. In Lorenz's eyes, Jada wouldn't pass up a major movie gig for just anybody. And honestly, fans have been feeling the same way for years. Their relationship always gave off something's up vibes. They had been tight since their college days. And let's be real, that's not exactly the time when young folks are known for keeping it squeaky clean. During one interview, Jada even said Pac was new.
Me, and it's the most disgusting kiss between us both. I mean, he pulled back just like, and I pulled back, and I was like, see, dummy, you know, and from there it was just like, and then there was one more time he kissed me, and it was just like, and I talk about that in jail when I go to see him in Dannemora. That's a whole nother thing. And once again, it's just like, dude, doesn't work.
Jada once shared that it was during her sophomore year when Pac first spotted her and locked in. She said, he looked over and he saw me and he just targeted me.
Of it is that I forgot the girl that came in and she played in the house party, the black girl from House Party. I forgot, and she was in Baby Boy as Tyree's mom. She came, I hate when I wish somebody get a Wikipedia or something and look that up real fast, who that name is.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, I mean, it's no problem.
Because I don't want to disrespect her because I think she's a brilliant actress.
And you said, what movie was she in?
She was in Baby Boy.
Baby Boy. Oh, you talking about AJ Johnson?
AJ Johnson.
Yeah, okay.
AJ Johnson came in to play my girlfriend.
She laughed, calling him this happy, bouncy ball of energy with a little peanut head, full of life and straight up vibrant. She was like, whoa, and don't forget, Jada used to call Tupac her soulmate. She said, if there is such a thing as past lives, I definitely think that Pac and I have traveled a few together. And it doesn't stop there. Word on the street is that things actually got a little funky behind the scenes. Yup, Jada and Pac locked lips once on her back porch. Turns out both of them were confused why they didn't feel that spark. So they decided to test it out the old-fashioned way. But according to Jada, the kiss was a total flop. She laughed it off saying, we both pulled back like, what the hell? And claimed it just didn't work for either of them. Thing is, fans never fully bought her story, and honestly, can you blame them? With all the receipts piling up, plus tea from Jada's ex-assistant, it gets even messier. Tasha K once had the assistant on her show, and she flat out said Jada's a certified liar. The assistant wasn't holding back when she spilled the tea. She told a wild story about the day she came home and caught Jada and Pac together in the bathroom.
Isn't anything that she hasn't lied about, even the nature of her relationship with Tupac. Like, she claims they weren't ever sexual, and I think she did that in order to make Will feel better. I think, in my opinion, Jada would lie to anyone in order to save what she feels is their feeling.
And honestly, there's no way Jada could explain that without getting some serious side-eye.
When Jada moved in with me, we were on Hughes in Culver City, and I remember coming home, she ran out of the bathroom, and she's like, Tupac's Tupac's here, he's taking a bath. And, you know, she came out with deer headlights. I don't know. I'm just saying I wasn't in that bathroom, but...
The assistant said, I remember one time. And before she could even finish, Tasha K threw out the idea that maybe Jada freaked out because she was scared the assistant would snitch to her mum. And the assistant didn't even deny it. She had plenty to say about that too. So yeah, after hearing that story, it's real tough to believe everything Jada's been trying to sell. And trust, that's just scratching the surface. Because then came the letter from Willow that shook the whole internet. Little Willow wrote to Pac, "Dear Tupac, I know you are alive someplace. I think that my mommy really misses you. Can you please come back? Can you come back so mommy and me can be happy? I wish you were here. I really do. Love, Willow." That letter had everybody asking serious questions. One person online said, "Does anyone else find the letter Willow wrote kinda odd? Like, weren't her parents together at the time? Did Jada really go around telling her kids she wasn't happy with their dad and would rather be with Tupac, who wasn't even alive anymore?" IDK, maybe it's just me, but this whole thing keeps getting messier, and it doesn't stop there either. In Tupac's 1999 poetry collection, The Rose That Grew From Concrete, he even dropped a poem titled Jada, straight up dedicated to his childhood friend. And honestly, a lot of people started connecting the dots after reading it. The poem went, "You are the omega of my heart, the foundation for my conception of love."
You know, understanding that Pac and I had a hard time understanding why it just we didn't have it. And I talk about it in the book, you know, that being on the back porch of my house and we're like having this discussion. I'm like, okay, Pac, just kiss me.
When I think of what a black woman should be, it's you that I first think of. You will never fully understand how deeply my heart feels for you. I worry that we'll grow apart and I'll end up losing you. You bring me to climax without. But not everybody's buying into the theory that Pac got Jada her role. Tyrone Turner, the lead actor from Menace II Society, straight up called it a lie. He said Jada got the part by grinding just like everybody else. According to Tyrone, the directors held a full reading to see who matched his energy the best. And Jada went through the same process, no shortcuts. He even made it clear that Alan Hughes wasn't the type to just hand out roles because someone pulled strings. Tyrone also spilled that when Alan wanted him for the lead, the studio actually tried to shut it down, but Alan saw something real in him and still gave him the shot, even with all the pushback. Plus, Jada herself has always denied that anything physical ever happened with Pac. She said in an interview that a real romantic connection just wasn't possible because they had zero chemistry. And when the interviewer pressed her, saying, "Come on, it looked like there was major chemistry," Jada clapped back with, "It's that friendship, love, chemistry. It was almost like God made us that way. It was like, look, I'm gonna put y'all together, right? Y'all are gonna be a dynamic duo."
Tell her mom that she was in the bathrooms and
I mean, she's grown now. You know, she's over 18. She's 19 or whatever.
Was Tupac famous at this time?
Yeah, I think he was with Digital Underground at the time.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna make it so y'all are not gonna be able to get together, because that just wasn't the purpose. She even wrote something similar for an article in Time magazine. Jada once wrote, "There were no errors between us. We could be raw and authentic without the pressure to impress each other. There were no butterflies, no tingles in the body, no hot desire to be in each other's arms. Instead, something way deeper was happening, a friendship with crazy strength, giving us the power to hold space for each other through some of the toughest moments of our lives." Still, a lot of fans aren't buying it. They think Jada's just trying to cover up whatever really went down between her and Pac, for reasons nobody's been able to figure out yet. And honestly, she's not exactly got a track record of keeping it 100 either. One person even wrote, "There's way too much chemistry coming out of those pictures for nothing physical to have happened. Maybe it was a one-time thing and they figured they were better off as friends. I don't know, but I have no problem believing Jada lies, not just to make herself look better, but to control whatever story she wants out there." And honestly, looking at the way she talks about Pac and how close they were, it's real hard to believe nothing ever happened. Plus, even Larenz Tate was side-eyeing them heavy, wondering what they were really getting into on the set of Menace II Society. So what do you think? Did Pac and Jada have something deeper going on? Was Larenz's hunch about them filming a little movie of their own on set actually spot on? So what do you think? Did Pac and Jada have something deeper going on? Was Larenz's hunch about them filming a little movie of their own on set actually spot on? Make sure to like, subscribe, share this video, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear it all. And don't forget, we'll catch you on the next one.